statistics just to make it safe.
The same reasoning they gave us many years ago when we were looking at getting a left-hand turn lane at the top of the street, Washington, so people can make the left going east onto Washington, they widen it out. That's the same thing they said. Not enough accidents, so we didn't. Wait till somebody gets killed and then we'll do it,
Right.
basically.
You don't have to be a state engineer to see that this is a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Curve and- Would this be something that would be an article in Newsday? If we were to just call, and you know, you see these all the time, you know, on the local news where village fights.
Yeah, ABC News on your side.
Or something, because I do think that anybody who saw a picture of that curve, and then you come around the curve, and then there's a car stopped there because they're waiting for traffic to pass.
Or you're the car, and also you look up in your rear view mirror, you see these cars coming.
So I would think that if we were to make it more than just a Poquott issue, you know, everybody, this is 25A, there's all kinds of people coming and going from other places, and I think it would be something that publicity might grease the wheels. You know, because otherwise this is going to be a long, drawn-out thing, and we're never going to get it. I hate to be pessimistic, but you know, that's.
Well, we can start with the letter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like the type of the story that someone was killed.
Well, what do you think we should address on this? What part of it?
That, just as I said, that they shouldn't, it's not fair to the people that may become the statistics that they're looking for. It's not fair to the people that, will, you know, that will be those statistics, you know, that, so it's something that we've identified as it's clearly unsafe. And then the second thing is, I would question as to whether or not it meets design criteria for, and for the DOT. I mean, you can't.
So we should ask for them to show us design criteria that.
Yeah, they must have, they have a manual for
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like that. I mean,
yeah.
you know, I'm sure.
And I know they're looking for incidents within a time frame, but I can tell you for sure that there was, years ago, a fatal accident that they presented.
But was it someone walking on a bike or something?
No, I think it was a car accident. Someone came whipping around a turn, and fatal accident, and the state did go and act on it. But it's not sufficient, it's clearly still dangerous. So we can say, yes, there has been fatalities, and it's not improved, and the
Just
state
more
doesn't want
cars
to
on the
win.
road, more distractions.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the speed limit there now is 40, is that what it is?
30.
It's 30? I
I
think it turns to 40.
think it
40
does.
Right? It changes from 40 to 30 someplace.
I think it's still 40. but
Right
it's
there?
Until you get the porch out, you know,
Okay.
but whatever it is.
I think after Washington Street and our line, it goes down to 30.
Okay.
There's traffic calming that if they don't want to make a turn lane, there's traffic calming that they can do to straighten it.
And as I mentioned last time, a sign, a big sign that says, dangerous curve, be prepared to stop.
Yeah. Blinking, you know.
Yeah, something where we're making a big deal about this intersection. Because that's just gonna be, you know, they have the criteria.
Right.
And so we don't exist. That's what it is. Show us a couple
When it
more
comes
lots.
down to it, they use that because, and I'm not sticking up for them, I'm just explaining what they do it so they don't have to give it to every corner, which is dangerous. And I don't agree with that. That's what we're fighting.
Oh, you want to draft a letter? I sent it over to Joe.
I'll do my best on that.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I can.
Put a stoplight up in front of that gym on 12 real quick. Maybe you finish building the building and the stoplight went up, right opposite its driveway.
The gym did it,
Yeah,
they paid for it,
okay, so.
yeah, as part of the getting the permit.
How do you want to see it? That's going to be asking. This?
Let's say quarter road.
We're ready for you guys when you are. No rush. You can come sit up here if you want on. Yeah. Chris, we're up to presenting the audit when you're ready.
Yeah, wanna do that now?
Sure. Moving fast tonight.
What else is there?
You're lucky this is heat.
Full house.
Would you like a chair? Just round you up a chair. A chair.
No, I'm up to you, you wanna sit?
You can sit there. You're giving to the board, so.
Excuse me.
We ready?
You pass them out? Split in there.
One for Jeff.
One for Joe. This is Joe. Yeah, well, one of them's drawn on, which I can't say. You have one?
Okay.
Joe has one?
I have
Joe, do you have one?
name on the kit.
I know, I brought one extra.
Okay.
This is a tentative draft?
Yeah, tentative draft. Yeah, we're still,
Everybody.
just waiting to complete the justice court order, we're waiting for a couple of bank statements still. So once we get that complete, then make sure everything all at once.
Mhm.
But as far as the audit itself, the other reports are all done. So
I emailed Christine this week, she said that she sent everything. Do you know if maybe she got it and you just didn't process it?
no, she sent everything, but when Jen was here earlier, we still needed December 15 and January 16 bank statements.
Okay, I'll email her again this weekend.
But, you know, she's aware that she was supposed to get it to us by the end of the day, so I could bring a draft here.
Okay,
So we don't have the detail for that.
so,
So
okay.
once we get that, then we can talk. And then
Okay.
we got to follow up on one other thing with the bank statements. So, anyway, my name's Chris Reno, I'm with the firm Cullen Danowski. We're up in Poquott Station. We're the external auditor for the village. We do roughly 20-plus villages, and 2/3 of our practice is government as far as accounting, auditing. 6 partners, roughly 50 of us altogether. And anyway, so we're hired by the board to primarily render an opinion on your financial statements. That's relatively free of material misstatements. And the first report that we issue is the financial statements, where we render the opinion. So on page 1 is our report. And this is based on generally accepted auditing standards. Okay? So the report itself is an unmodified opinion, except for the fixed assets. That we need to talk about as far as doing an inventory per se, and I have a detailed list. So the disclaimer on fixed assets, but all the other funds unmodified, which is a clean opinion, as far as general fund, trust and agency. Okay? And
Through May 31.
we'll make that's the year end of the village. Okay? And then so anyway, so then the rest of it's just your financial statements themselves. And so on page 4, we have basically the balance sheet. And so you have one governmental fund type, which is your general fund, which is your main operating fund. And you have one fiduciary fund, which is trust and agency, which is the unmodified opinions. And then you have your non-current governmental assets, which used to be known as the fixed assets. Okay? So at the end of the day, as far as fund balance goes, we end the year with $99,307, which is comprised of 3 components. One is non-spendable, which is just prepaid expenditures, which is only $1,400. And that's just prepaid insurance. So since that's already been paid, it has to be carved out of your unassigned fund balance, which is what's left over. And out of your unassigned fund balance, there's 2 components there. Historically, there was only one component, which was the unassigned fund balance, which is left over after everything's all spent and done. But this past year, there was some snow removal, so you received money, you didn't spend the full amount, and it was decided by the village to, carve that out and sign it. So we have about roughly 25,000 assigned for snow removal, and another 73,000 for unassigned fund balance. Now,
Yeah. These are in separate accounts? That's not in
No, no,
general
they're all-
funds?
no, they're all in the general fund, but general fund's comprised of 5 different components. It's, you have your, what you call it, non-spendable, which is usually inventory, prepaid expenditures, like prepaid insurance. And then there's the restricted, which is, by either municipal law, in school districts, educational law. That's like, if you had issued bonds and you had, excess money, you could have a reserve for debt, something like that. And there's general municipal law specifically for that, you would know.
Well, my question is like the snow money
Right.
can be used for snow,
Correct.
but it can't be used out of general funds.
Yeah, no,
No,
it
it's
can.
in general fund,
No,
but it can
I-
only be
yeah.
snow.
Only
No,
snow.
Yeah, no, restricted is by law, okay? So once you set up a restricted fund, you've got to use it specifically for that. Then there's something called
Right.
committed, which doesn't apply to villages. The fourth one is assigned, and that's within the law. So if you decide that you don't want to use it for snow anymore, you can easily just put it right back.
Good to know, thank you.
Okay.
Because we don't know what this year will bring.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, if you decide that, doesn't snow anymore, then you just take it out. So, okay, and then you have your unassigned fund balance. So, talking with the comptroller, as far as the big question is, how much am I allowed to keep from an unassigned fund balance? And from talking with the comptroller's office, they say between 10 to 20% of next year's budget. And where you're at with the 73, you're at 15%, right in the middle, perfect. If you didn't have the snow, believe it or not, you're right at 20. So you're right in that perfect area as far as the village goes. I have a couple of villages, they have like 30%, and I have a couple that like have almost nothing. So, 10 to 20 is like what they think is, good. Okay, so that's that. And then we go to the next page, and then that's basically, it would be like, as a corporation, your income statement. So it's the money that comes, all their revenues and all your expenditures. Okay. And then that goes to beyond the footnotes in the back, which is the last page, 13 and 14. The actual column mirrors what's on that page, but this also includes your original and revised budget, so you can see your variances within all the categories. Okay. And so at the end of the year, you're actually pretty much broke even. So, so you still have roughly the same amount of fund balance, so that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's great, because we had a $44,000 expenditure that we didn't get reimbursed for, that
Correct.
we weren't expecting.
Right.
So that's fantastic.
Yeah, that was for, the storm,
The crazy storm.
and then you had
I
some
think someone's
excess.
watching that budget.
Yeah, exactly. And then you had some excess revenues, which offset that, so that's why you were able to.
That's all we did.
So that was good. So that's basically the financial statements themselves, okay? Then there's 2 other reports that get issued, I'll hand them out. Now this report is pretty standard. This is just a report from us, the auditors, to the board as far as, the audit process. We talk about if there were any significant audit findings, which there weren't. We talk about if there were any difficulties with the audit, we had, trouble getting information or, dealing with the staff. So nothing there. Then we talk about corrected and uncorrected misstatements. There's minor journal entries because you have Natalie is your outside accountant, so minimal journal entries, that's great, so the books are, clean, because, some villages we would have, that this could be an effect on the financial reporting, because we've issued 45, 50 journal entries, here, it's just,
It was like 8, right? 6 or 8, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8, yep.
And basically, they're not really corrections, they're just accruing at the end of the year. Because villages operate more on like a cash basis. In the year end, we have to go on the modified accrual basis with, we're reporting, extra payables and things that are required, in the accrued payroll, which is minimal, but it's nothing significant, so that's why you have, clean net.
And then we're gonna let Natalie know which ones she can reverse back to first.
Yeah. And, so basically, that, and, there's another report that we could issue if we had problems, as far as significant deficiencies and material weaknesses, and that's, where, closing the books, inadequate records, and that would be another report. Since you don't have any significant deficiencies, that's not an issue at this village, so that's good. And then the last report, as far as that I have tonight, is known as the management letter. And basically, these are just other considerations which are not considered material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. They're basically, we look at the comptroller's audit reports and take that into consideration, what they're looking for. And so basically, we start off with commenting on the prior year comments. We had 2 comments, and they're basically policies. One was capital asset, the other was purchasing. So the one's in process with the capital assets that we talked about. And the other one is your purchasing policy, which Arthur put something together. We worked together on that.
The capital asset.
No, the procurement policy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We did capital asset too.
We did capital.
In July, we did that in July.
Yeah. So next year, that one will be corrected.
Okay.
And then that comes off the list too. So that, and then the other comment, which was just for the current year, was just budget administration as far as reporting to the board monthly, budget revisions, things like that.
Mhm.
But so that's it. That's pretty clean management letter. We had some villages, that pages and pages. So it's good, it's really good. And then the last report that we issued would be that justice court report, which is it's not complete, but it just needs those 2 bank statements.
Okay, and once you get them, then you'll issue the final one, right?
Yeah, then I'll have everything, and then everything gets issued and every audit's final. And we already filed I believe we filed the AED already with the
You
state,
did,
so
yeah.
we're all current.
We did.
It's just a matter of, and these reports don't really go anywhere except, the justice court, they do want to file with the comptroller's office. So once we get that complete, that goes up there. And the justice court report's just basically a cash flow report, which is opening balances, the receipts that came in, the disbursements that went out, and any cash balance. And then there's a footnote about what the portion that went to the village, and what the cost was to operate the justice court.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much it as far as the audit goes, and so I'm just here for any questions.
Yeah, if you can help me out, I'm new to this.
No.
So, I got it in my lap right now, so maybe you can explain a couple of things to me that I haven't had a chance to really look at.
Sure.
Now, you said we ended up pretty much even.
Correct.
Now, does that include the monies for snow and garbage and
Correct. Yes.
chips?
Yeah, if you look on page 14, you'll see net change in fund balance, and that's your revenues less your expenditures.
So, okay, so the money that we get for the snow can be used for snow.
Yeah, we
Right,
carved that
but
right
it
out.
can't be used for
Well, if you decide.
other things,
If you
It can
decide,
if we decide.
if you decide to.
for 1 year. And
No,
then
no, you can do it right now.
no, but you have to pay it back.
No, you
And we don't have to pay it back?
no, you got the funding.
Complete discretion to spend the money no matter what?
Well, you decided to carve it out, but you, as a
decided
board,
to
you can decide to
Well,
take
explain it
that
to
out.
me. I thought when it's a special tax in addition, like garbage and snow, that's what it's dedicated for. Okay, so, say next year, it's $75,000, okay?
Right.
The money that we had left over from here should have been moved over for next year.
Well, that's what we decided to do.
Yeah.
But if we're at the end of this year, let's say we don't have a lot of snow, we have $40,000 left over at the end of the year, if the board makes the decision to use that for something else, we can.
Yeah, you have
Or we
No
flexibility.
matter what.
Yeah, you have flexibility.
The line item.
As long as everybody's on board.
Those, not
Party.
assess, not assess.
Oh, wait, we have trees to
Right.
take down. We have trees to take
Right,
down.
there's no reason.
You had
If
to-
you
So
build any sort of
basically-
a surplus, then.
Because all I'm seeing is like it's some sort of unexplained taxing. If we take that money and put it into the general fund.
Well, that's your discretion, but in total concept, you know, if you decide not to use it and then you're doing your next year's budget, you're going to utilize that
Can
fund
I ask
balance.
that you don't talk and?
Utilize that fund
I know
balance,
you
then
think.
you don't have to raise taxes or not on the discretion.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
so you, it's up to the board.
yeah.
So, you know, so it's not, you know, it's not locked into snow, but if that's your decision as the board, you can do that. You have that flexibility. You know, I have some villages that have, you know, they just allot, you know, X amount of dollars a year just for a
Or we could
park.
lower, or we could choose to lower how much is taxed for the snow district if we're doing it too much.
Well, yeah, that's on your discretion,
Okay.
or, you know.
So if we continually had a $10,000 or $20,000,
Or say you had a
We've
different
never had this,
scenario,
we've never had it.
like, say something else happens, like say you had another storm.
well, I'm
whatever.
just trying to get a
Right.
sense.
I mean,
Yeah,
also, we
I
do have a
know.
surplus to go, but we never had one before.
Say you have, you know, say, you know, you're assessing for snow, but you have a hurricane or something. You know,
Right.
You can take that money, use it for that, and then still collect more for the snow, and just take that out, and then you're covered, so it's like, it's all part of the pot.
I always
One.
thought that you could do it for a year, use it for something else, but then you needed to replenish that money that- by
No,
the next budget cycle, no?
no, you don't have,
Okay.
that's discretion of the board, so as I said, you're the law.
Okay, that's why I asked, because I didn't know that.
And I'm not just here for
Yeah.
the 2 months to do the audit and I'm gone, so you
Yeah.
you can call me year round, Arthur and I are always in constant communication
Okay,
on things, so.
okay. And was there something here that we couldn't identify how much we had in real property? Did we do that? Like in,
I don't know what you're talking about.
there's a certain amount of money that we spent on cars and printers and things of that nature. What assets, was that settled? Did we determine that our assets were equal to what we were reporting?
As far as on the balance sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, well, say for this fiscal year, that you had, you know, you bought something, you know, that goes into what we call point two code. So it is identified.
Yeah. Well, no, I saw like for 3 years or something, we had the same number.
Right. Well, that's why our suggestion is to maybe consider going out for an inventory. And then start from there, and then, you know, now that you have the capital asset policy, you adhere to that, and you have a threshold as what you're saying is going to be considered a capital asset. And that will, you know, report the additions and the deletions and move forward. So, you know,
It's a good practice to have the inventory,
Right.
so we know what we have and what we don't
Right,
have. Yeah, okay.
Did you say we have a capital asset policy now?
We just did it. in
Well, they
July.
just did it this year.
Yeah.
So next
One of
year,
the first things I did.
Oh, we voted on it?
Yes.
We go to the July meeting, but see, we haven't started, we just started using it this year, so when they did this audit, we didn't have one yet. We were deciding what we were gonna do, so.
So, the first thing you did was like take care of the one thing that we had.
I guess we'll keep you.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Do you wanna stay for public comments, and wait, even though they don't have a copy, or you wanna wait till the file comes out?
we can wait for the final.
Yeah,
Or, you
that's
know, or if they have any questions or comments, you can relay
Get them
them
to
to me, and then
absolutely.
I can get
Okay.
back to you and if you.
So, getting a draft, this isn't for public.
No, it's not final yet.
No, not until, you know, the finals have been issued and it's released to the board. And the only thing that we're just waiting for is a couple of things with the justice court. That'll communicate, you know, to the mayor and order.
Yep. So, you'll stay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, thank you very much.
We'll have public comment in a few minutes, right?
It has something to do with him, he quits.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris, nice to see you. Good job.
Thank you.
Good night. Okay, then a motion to adjourn the working meeting?
So moved.
Okay, do you want to go right into the public hearings? Oh, wait a minute, I wanted to- We gotta make sure we know.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Okay, so Joe, we have 45 people, we're only allowed 40.
In here.
Yeah, I mean, what is the whole building or this room?
This room.
So we just announced we have a problem, see what the public wants to do.
We've had a situation before.
Right.
I don't know if there's a remedy to keep going, but what we did last time, we said we can't have it, we moved it to the library. So,
Couldn't get the library to spend around.
yeah, we schedule it when we can, but then if you're saying that you have to ask somebody to leave, which is.
Well, you can't do that.
You can't do it.
So, my license that we adjourn.
I think we have a choice.
We don't have a choice.
Because we're ready to go here.
It's not even that, I've been told that the fire marshal.
It's a fire drill.
I already been told that. Yes, exactly.
We'll send an anonymous letter.
Exactly, they'll send an anonymous letter. We don't need to return it. Exactly, so one of the dates that we know is free, Saturday morning.
Yeah, let's see.
Saturday morning. I don't know about the library, I know Poquott is on, but we can try the library, I can call them tomorrow and see if the library's got it.
Let me find out if we can.
She just told me, so, but I feel like we try the library first, they don't have it. Now it's gonna be a little bit.
I think we're open, yeah, we're open.
Yes. Yep, more people coming. So that's that.
Saturday.
Okay. Okay, so then I'm not gonna announce the date, I'll send an email to everybody tomorrow morning, let's do the names, and we go from more sales available.
We exceeded capacity.
Okay, so we have too many people in the building, so we have to adjourn the next part, the public hearings and the business meeting. Can some of us just leave? Well, 10 people leaving, 10 people need to leave.
You need 10 people.
And hope that no one else comes.
It would be a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, so a motion to adjourn,
Public hearings and the meeting.
okay, so I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing for the amended local law, chapter 169, vehicles and traffic, and creating new law, chapter 120, property maintenance. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? I don't have a choice. And what I'll do is I'll email everyone tonight and we'll get dates and Joe and I will work on another location.
Tactic.
We won't have a regular meeting. The hearing is kind of separate from one.
We
Can't
can't,
have anything.
We can't have anything.
can't have anything.
So you need
That's
to,
working.
you need to adjourn the regular meeting also.
Okay, so
Motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
motion to adjourn the regular meeting. My other thing is.